Hey everyone, it's Jack and Ross from Cultaholic.com. Happy Monday, Ross.
Happy Monday, Jack.
Excellent stuff. We've got a packed news day. So
God.
I know.
What a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling there's going to be some news.
And there is. Let's take a look at the headline. First of all, we take a look at the reasons behind several recent WWE departures. Secondly, news of some injuries to several members of the WWE roster, but how severe are they? And finally, an NXT superstar has apparently been saying goodbye to the brand at recent house shows. So first of all, it looks like it's that time of year that release season is in full effect.
We had a Black Friday
Oh,
last Friday. 3 people went.
yes. Arn Anderson.
He was Thursday.
Was he?
Yes.
Go on then.
The 3 people were TJP. I've forgotten the other 2.
Ty Dillinger.
Help me out, it's Monday morning. Ty Dillinger
Yeah.
and Hideo Itami.
Yes.
That was the 3.
Yeah, because Dillinger and Itami, it was sort of an open secret.
Yes.
Yes. The big one here, Meltzer's taken a look at the various reasons behind the different things. The big one is Arn Anderson, because apparently something may have gone down.
I want this to be true.
Okay.
It's a shame that I haven't worked into a WrestleMania angle because Vince McMahon versus Arn Anderson in 2019 is something I want to see.
That big spine buster on the grandest stage of them all.
On Vince McMahon. It would be amazing.
Well, apparently on Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported that he was fired after continued conflicts with Vince McMahon. So it wasn't just a one incident thing, this mysterious vague incident. Details are scarce, but something happened at a house show that wasn't handled to Vince's liking. Arn took full blame for the incident and was ultimately terminated from his role. So it was a firing.
Yeah.
Apparently as well, Meltzer talked a bit about his attitude backstage in terms of he'd often take the side of the talent over the higher-ups. If he was explaining an angle to one of them and they went, well, this isn't very good, he'd be like, I know, but just do it. Whereas the agents are told to be like, no, it is good. Come on, this is the WWE.
Yeah, it was shocking to see just how many superstars came out and said, I love Arn Anderson, he's the funniest man I've ever met.
Really?
You never normally see that when somebody gets, someone in that position gets released.
No.
Normally very quiet, but everyone just came out and said, I love that man, he is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was there for 18 years doing that job.
Yeah,
he must have been doing something right in that time.
Since pretty much the invasion.
That's when he came in, when the invasion happened. So yeah, he did well for 18 years, but obviously something big's happened, and Vince has gone, that's enough. See you later. It's a shame.
It is a shame. Apparently he had key figures backstage who were fans of his. So Triple H apparently big. Well, he is a big. You can tell from the way he wrestles. Triple H is a big fan, and also John Cena. And apparently he was kind of often the personal road agent for Cena's matches.
I read this. Apparently, if Cena was working a more full-time schedule, Arn would not have been released. But since Cena's never there, there's no real, top guy that Arn does anymore. So
yeah,
he's gone.
It's quite sad.
It is a shame, yeah.
We don't know what the incident is though, but yeah, apparently it was a pretty big one.
So should we start the rumours now that he's going to AEW to work alongside Billy Gunn as a trainer?
Well, who knows?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Although Cody did recently come out and say, it's not just ex-WWE guys, which is fair, I think it's smart.
But Arn Anderson is the definition of fresh.
No, yeah.
That's the word Cody used.
Did he?
Yeah. It's got to be freshness, not just former WWE, and Arn Anderson is fresh.
Okay. TJP, another interesting one, because there was various rumours about why he got released. Mainly, the first one that went about was about all of his lovely new tattoos, because he turned up just suddenly covered in...
And Total Divas has told me you just can't do that in WWE. Eve Marie was told to dye, I think it was dye her hair one colour. Yeah. I forget what colour it was, but she rocked it with red.
Yeah.
And it all kicked off. So it goes to licensing and action figures and stuff like that. You just can't change your appearance on the fly.
Well,
you need to clear it by everybody and then, just wait your turn.
TJP has come out since his release and said, well, the boss gave me permission 6 months ago. He said the boss gave me permission.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, she said it's all right.
McMahon.
Gave him permission 6 months ago, and apparently also liked them when he saw him. I can't imagine Vince being like,
hello, little man. Yeah. Damn it, there's some good tattoos.
So the other rumour or reason floating around is disciplinary reasons, and the telling thing here for me is that look at when Itami left and the amount of people who came out and went, brilliant guy, love him so much.
Nobody said bye.
TJP came out, I think Cedric did, and that was pretty much it. Yeah.
At least there was one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not supposed to believe everything you read on the internet, but you do see a lot of things flying about TJP especially.
Yes.
And now we're putting 2 and 2 together and potentially getting 4.
Well,
It seems to be a bit of a mess, but if he's been a dick backstage, he's been a dick backstage. He should have learned from the Big Cass situation.
Yeah, it's a weird one because, it's weird to think that only a couple of years ago he was the winner of the Cruiserweight class. He was
the first ever Cruiserweight champion, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the purple one.
Yes, and then it just sort of all slid from there. And then the other two are Ty Dillinger and Hideo Itami, who did ask for their release. And to be fair to them both, fair enough, because neither of them were being used particularly well.
They're both going to do better than they were doing in WWE, aren't they?
Hopefully.
They should do, yeah. Especially Hideo going back to Japan.
Yeah.
Allegedly, so.
He'll probably do well there, because he's like a mini little legend of the Japanese wrestling scene. Whereas Dillinger's a more curious one.
It'd be interesting to see, because I firmly believe that the fans sabotaged Ty Dillinger by chanting 10 when they weren't supposed to. That kind of thing we hear all the time annoys Vince McMahon when you're chanting something when you're not supposed to be chanting something. So it'll be interesting to see if I think he changed his name, obviously to his real, but his Twitter handle was, is it Perfect 10 or something? So it looks like he's going to keep the 10 thing. The 10 thing going. More power to him. It worked, didn't it?
It did. Now, he is friends with Cody Rhodes, but this was, I think, the story that prompted Cody to come out and say, look, it's not just going to be ex-WWE guys. I don't know.
But it's a bit... Dillinger's a bit of a different one because he was popular with the crowd. It wasn't if it's like the Nasty Boys rocking up in TNA.
No.
It's like Dillinger is a popular guy.
He can wrestle.
He's got miles left on the clock, surely, because he's not been doing much in recent months. So.
He is older than you think, though. He's 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
a
few years.
AJ
Styles is 41, isn't
he? Something like that. Yeah. Why not? Go on, Ty. You can, his new name. You can do it. Now it's time to talk about a few injuries that have been floating around from various sources online, because they all happened at live shows, so they've just all been coming out from everywhere. The big one is Drew McIntyre, who seemed to suffer a knee injury at a house show in Tupelo, Mississippi.
We've said that wrong.
No.
Sorry, comments.
No, we haven't. No, it's fine. The match had to end early, but luckily McIntyre is believed to be fine, and I'm relieved because I'm hoping that there's something big in store for him at WrestleMania. But the closer we get, the less confident.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go for Strowman against McIntyre at WrestleMania, but that seemed to have died down on last week's Raw.
Yeah.
Apparently, this injury took place when McIntyre hit a bloody big flying kick. What the hell is it called? A Claymore kick.
Oh, his finisher.
His finisher. And then people thought Ambrose was injured initially, and then it turned out that the X was thrown up for Drew. And he was helped backstage.
Yeah, if I'd just seen a giant Scottish man fly across the ring and kick someone in the face, I'd assume that it was that.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully he's fine. I don't know if he'll be on Raw. They'll take a precaution because they seem to be being a little bit careful with people in the lead up to WrestleMania wisely. Like Rollins just got completely written out of the show.
That's what they should be doing all the time.
Yeah.
They are human beings at the end of the day who have human being bodies that aren't like robots. That's some analysis.
Over in NXT UK in Coventry, Noam Dar and Mark Andrews were having a match and collided, or something happened where, again, it sounds like a similar thing given the injuries that happened, because Andrews was stretched out. Apparently he was knocked out or knocked dizzy. That's thought to be nothing worse than, at the very worst, a mild concussion, which still doesn't sound like anything I'd want to get.
No, I think it was pulled out of Progress soon after, or something like that.
Oh, it's like a precaution. Yeah. But then on Noam Dar's side of things, it could be a bit more serious. He could be suffering a potentially very serious knee injury.
Which is a shame, because he had a big one not too long ago, wasn't it? That ruled him out of 205 Live for a while.
Yeah, and the timing's pretty bad as well. Apparently he'll be treated when I read this all coming out online, apparently he's going to get treated when he returns to the US, which surprised me because I thought he was going over to NXT UK full time.
He's been on it quite a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I thought it was being implied that he was going to stick around a bit more, but if not,
flying people when they've got an injured knee is a weird one because it swells up, doesn't it, in the aircraft?
Oh, really?
Something like that. I don't know.
Don't like the idea of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wish all of those guys, especially Dar, the one who sounds the most serious, a full and quick recovery. I just think the schedules that because I know that they gets brought up all the time, but the schedules they work are just crazy, especially on the main roster.
It is, but at least they seem to be getting time to recover now, so it's changing slightly.
Yeah.
And bloody hell, they've got enough wrestlers. Have a bit of rotation policy on live events.
Yeah.
I guess in McIntyre's case it's a bit different because he is the franchise on Raw.
He's a big star.
He's a big star. He needs to be there to get butts in the seats. But wrestlers. Sorry, feel sorry for them, don't you?
Health's important.
Yeah.
You know? It's a difficult job. And finally, footage has emerged online from, well, the clearest video came from the Twitter account at Brian the Guppy, which I believe is a type of fish, saying that Aleister Black has been saying goodbye to NXT at house shows. So at Brian the Guppy for a video there of Black doing it. He calls NXT a family, says he's proud to be a part of that family. The stuff we've heard from a lot of NXT wrestlers, it does really seem to inspire a big sense of team.
If there's a book of farewell speeches, this hit all the notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched it before.
He also said that NXT will always be his home, regardless of what he does next.
Then it ends with, "We are NXT." Whoa!
Whoa!
Yeah, big one. Big Poppington.
Oh. Now, WWE's website has already listed those 4 stars that we saw on Raw and SmackDown this past week as members of the main roster, but it looks like at least Gargano and Ciampa have crucial stuff to, like, well, Ciampa's still the champion, for example, crucial storylines to take care of in NXT as well. So it's a bit of a weird situation.
I was shocked because I thought initially, seeing how they use the NXT graphics on the nameplates when they're walking down the ramp, I thought it was going to be like the Sami Zayn and Charlotte and that Fatal 4-Way we saw years ago, just a one-off appearance to promote NXT a bit.
Yeah,
but it looks like they've been moved to the main roster page on WWE.com.
They've been booked again this week.
They've been booked. Aye, there's going to be a tag team match on SmackDown with Black and Ricochet against Rusev and Nakamura.
Yeah.
I wonder who will win that one.
There's also going to be a big match on SmackDown between, I mean, to be honest, I'm quite excited for this one. Gargano and Cesaro.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'll be really good.
Give them half an hour.
Yeah.
Give them the Rey and Andrade spot.
But I just feel like this is a bit of a disservice to NXT fans who,
especially with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
I accepted it on Raw because it was like they were a bit standoffish, going, you go up the rope and celebrate, and then they were like, oh, go on, then we'll do it. And then on SmackDown, they were just a fully fledged, come on, we're the good guys, year and a half's worth of TV gone forever.
I think that the Black is probably, if they call them up full time at different times away from NXT, it seems like Aleister Black's might be the first one, the first name to be called, and then I'd suggest probably Ricochet, because Ciampa's the champion at the moment. Gargano's still got a storyline ongoing with him, the nature of which we don't quite know yet, but it seems
it'd be interesting to see, because you can't really have these guys on the main roster, say they're going to the main roster, and have them both defend the championships on the takeover in New York.
I know.
Because then just to sort of like, they've got to lose, haven't they? It sort of takes something away from it, doesn't it?
Oh, it's really odd.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
They'll work their way out of it. Triple H knows what he's doing.
Well, Gargano's already lost his North American Championship.
Correct.
To Velveteen Dream last week. So maybe who knows?
Yes.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We know because I've seen the spoilers of the statements. But,
so have I,
yeah. But we're not going to tell you that on this news video, so it's fine. So that's it for this Monday's news update. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber.
I'm at Ross on Wrestling.
And check out our Patreon as well if you want to, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, if you haven't done so already, to hit subscribe and to join us.